All right. Yes, let's do this. Hey guys, Adrian here, business coach, social media marketer, lifestyle entrepreneur. Talking to you today with three things that I'd love to teach you today. This title of the video is The Price of Following Your Dreams. This is three things that everyone should know. As you can tell in this video, I'm at one of my favorite businesses to work for. I've got many favorites, was one of them. So my kids come and play here. I work. So it's the lifestyle of my dadpreneur, right? Got to do things on the fly. Got three beautiful boys that need to burn tons of energy. So here I am. If you're online, say hello. Give me the likes and the thumbs up. Comment below and let me know where you're from. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I've had a couple of people tune in from all parts of the globe, which is amazing. So post in the comments below what area you're from, what state you're from, what country even. It'd be cool to see where you're coming from. So let's get stuck into this training because I want to provide as much value as I possibly can. I've had two conversations today, believe it or not, in the one day with two separate clients around the price of following your dreams. Like the premise was based around getting into business, not all what it seems. Following your passion, doing something that lights you up is actually a lot harder on the surface of things. You know, when you start to really delve into it, it starts to raise a couple of problems and a couple of challenges which really test you. And so I want to talk about that. Okay, so enough about that. I come up with a quote ages ago. It goes like, when you wish for your dream, you wish for everything in between. So what I mean by that is that when you have dreams, desires, passions that you want to fulfill within your life, you've got to understand that when opportunity knocks, as Brendon Burchard says, a mentor of mine, it's fucking hard work that answers, right? So you need to understand where there's an opportunity, it means that there's work. If it was like, you know, as cliche as it sounds, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it, yeah? So the thing is that work appears. The challenge is that when people tend to look at other successful people following their dreams, because of, say, social media and things like that, you only see the highlights reel. You don't see everything that goes in between that. You don't see the late nights, you don't see the stress, you don't see the anxiety, you don't see the pressure on themselves. Entrepreneurs tend to place huge amounts of stress and expectations on themselves to perform and to come good with the things that they say that they're going to do. The amount of pressure that it encroaches on their family, on their relationships, like there's so much to it, and people don't understand. And I'm not saying that if you've got ambitions of getting into any sort of, you know, business or following your passions, whatever that may be, I'm not saying not doing. I'm actually encouraging you to do it. That's my thing, man. Like I want people to live a life of fulfillment and joy and success and all those sorts of things. I just want to make you guys, if you have not delved into that area, then I want to make you aware of a couple of things. And if you have started a business, then fantastic, I applaud you. If you're in business, then you'll totally fucking get this, okay? So here it is. Number one, there's three things I want to cover. Number one, it's actually quite lonely. There's a thing about being an entrepreneur, about having a goal, a passion, something that really lights you up, is that there's not too many other people that really understand you, particularly when it comes to relationships, your husband and wife, the people that are closer to your family. Everyone seems to be an expert about what it is you should do with your life, which is like, you know, amazing. But no one seems to really get you. They've always got an opinion, but they don't seem to get what you do. So it becomes quite lonely. So what I want to give you is, I guess, pitfalls, but I want to also give you solutions. Like as a coach, I want to help you overcome these things, okay? So understand, first of all, it's a lonely world. There's no one really understands you as well as like for what you're doing, as well as other entrepreneurs. So what I do is I find mentors, I find coaches, and I find communities who get me. As a matter of fact, in my business world, I've created things like that, you know. So I've got my social media breakthrough for business community, where there's about 1,500 people that come into that community, and I get to communicate with them, and they feel like they are being understood with their pressures, their questions, their problems, all that kind of stuff, and I get to help them. So there is a community out there for you, and I'd encourage you to find it. If you don't have a coach, find a coach. If you don't have a mentor, someone who's been there, done that, and achieved the things that you want, find them, seek them out, learn them, model from them. Number 2, it's all consuming. What I mean by that is that when you start to go, really deep into your passions, into building a life that you love, leaving a legacy, and all those things, it becomes ingrained into you. It becomes everything that you stand for. It becomes your identity, and it's all consuming. It's like most entrepreneurs that I know are fucking balls and all into their passion. And so sometimes it tends to get a little bit boring when you're talking, to them. Like, I get excited as a coach, I understand it, but from other people, from an outside point of view, they might find it a little bit boring. They might find that, man, this guy's or girl's like just really one-track minded, and unfortunately, that's kind of how it is. So the combat for me, like when I get too far deep into my world, and I can work all day and all night, like don't get me wrong, I love having a lifestyle, I love spending time with my wife, my kids, I love doing fun things, but I've had to learn how to take time out, which is what I want to advise you on, or give you some suggestions today. So what I've learned to do is I've learned to take a break. I've learned to switch off. And that's actually a fucking hard thing for me, because I am typically on all the time. So I can do this all day, all night. When I run events, I talk for 8, 9, 10 hours straight. No notes, nothing like that. I can do this till fucking the cows come home. So that's a joy for me, and it's somewhat entertaining for those who are coming to my courses. But at the same token, if I don't learn to switch off and have downtime, it affects me. It affects me mentally, it affects me physically, and it affects those that I love the most, okay? So there's no point climbing the hill to the top of the mountain and being the king of the fucking mountain, but you're all by yourself. All right, you want to actually celebrate when you get there with someone who still loves you and still wants you around. So don't let that be you being the lonely wolf at the top of the mountain. You want to make sure that you hit your pinnacle of success, but at the same token, you've got other people still there to help you achieve it, or celebrate it. So learn how to inject downtime into your life. Learn how to switch off. Okay, last one, number 3. It takes a shitload of patience. All right, this is a long game. Like, I had this conversation today, particularly around my business. My business really turned a corner in the last 6 to 12 months. And it's really been going great, because previous to this, if you don't know who I am, I ran a real estate business for 10 years. I was in real estate for 15 years odd. Ran a business for 10 of those, and then I rebranded, sold the business, and reinvented myself and become a business coach, social media marketer, and lifestyle entrepreneur. So like, that has evolved over time, but I've got to tell you, I started this process 18 months before I exited my business. So I was doing this as a side hustle, and then I sold the business, then I went into it full time. When I got into it full time, it actually didn't go gangbusters. It actually took another 18 months to start getting fairly solid foundations. So I burned through some cash. I made fuckloads of mistakes. I did so many things wrong, but I've got to a point now where I know myself, I know my market, I know exactly where I fit in the marketplace. I've nailed my marketing. So like, everything's turning a corner. I've got solid clients, all the rest of it. But you know what? It takes time. People see, oh, you're only so short into the business and now things are going really well, 2-3 years, but it's not. It's actually 5 years. It's that whole sort of 10-year overnight success. I think in the next 5, I can double my potential and revenue and all those sorts of things. But that's going to take 5 years. I'm prepared for 5 or 10 years slog to make this work, and I'm prepared for bumps along the way. So I'm not sure what it's like for you, but look, I think if you've got a short-term vision for this, I think you'll die, right? And I don't mean that in a condescending way. If you've got a short-term vision for your passion, purpose, and that's not a lifelong legacy that you want to leave, then I think that your short-term gains are going to be short-lived as well. This needs to be a long-term vision. This needs to be you forever, right? So understand that it's a long game. I'm gonna chuck in a fourth one. This is a bonus, absolutely free for you today. All right, your threshold for stress and anxiety will be tested. So for me in my life, when my threshold has been tested in terms of stress and anxiety, because this puts a mountain of pressure on myself and on my family, the people that actually suffer apart from me internally, but I can wear this because, you know, like I've been in business for 15 years now. So my threshold for stress and anxiety and pressure is probably 5 to 10 times greater than the average human being. I'm not saying that to boast, I'm just saying that I have been under the pump for a long time, and I've been in positions of financial strife and like I've come out of shit, right? So I've kind of learnt along the way with those bumps and bruises and scrapes, and you know, I've lost a bit of skin. So for those of you who are new to this, where it hurts you is with your family. Okay, so when your emotions get tested, then they get the better of you, and the first person that you take out on are the first people that come into your firing line, which is typically your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife, your kids, you know, the people that are closest to you. And you say stupid things and you do stupid things, and it hurts the ones you love the most. And like, you know what, I'm glad you're following your dreams, but you're an absolute prick when you're following your dreams, and then you've turned into this beast of a person. So I really don't want you to follow your dreams anymore. I want you to go back to the old Adrian. So I've learned strategies, and I actually teach this now. I've learned strategies to release emotion. I learned strategies around meditation. There's ancient healing techniques which I've learned and teach. So like these, I guess, modalities and strategies that I've learned have helped me contain my emotions. They've helped me remove from being egotistically driven to authentically driven, right? So this is my pure, authentic self that's governing my decisions. Whenever I know that I'm getting puzzled, frazzled, I'm getting overworked, I'm getting impatient, I'm getting angry, frustrated, you know, I'm getting resentful, that's ego, and my emotions are getting the better of me. I need to do work on that. Okay, let me recap this really quickly. Is this making sense? Hit me the likes, the loves, the wows, comment yes in the comments box below. Let me know that this is actually a benefit to you, okay? So I know I'm on the right track. The price of following your dreams. These are the 3 things I've added in a bonus here, right? Number 1, it's lonely, okay? No one really understands you. Just understand that that's just the way it is, but there's solutions. You can find mentors, find coaches, find communities that can help you with this, okay? That make you feel less lonely. Number 2, it's all consuming. This stuff overtakes your entire fucking being, and it becomes like your own identity. It's almost like when this goes away, or if you transition like I did from one business to another, you lose your identity. Some part of you dies and some part of you is reborn again. So understand that like you need to learn how to inject downtime. You need to learn how to switch off. You need to learn that it's not all business all the time. You need to learn how to be in the moment with those that love you the most, and particularly with yourself. And understand that resting is okay. You don't need to be working 24/7. Number 3, it takes shitloads of patience. When you are following your dreams and passions and you're living on purpose, to me, this is not a do and done process. This is a lifelong program, okay? You commit for life. This is a commitment that you know that if you're going to follow this dream with legacy, with passion, with leaving the world better than what you found it, like that's a long game, okay? This is till you die type stuff. It's almost like another fucking marriage, okay? Number 4, I'll chuck in a bonus one. Your threshold for stress and anxiety will be tested and tested and tested, okay? It'll be tested with your wife, your husband, it'll be tested with your kids. Everything that is sent to you as a test will show up in the worst possible time, in the worst possible moment, and it's a way of you understanding this is a problem for me. This is a strategy I need to learn to get out of. And the way I've done that is I've learned strategies around releasing emotion. I've learned strategies like meditation, ancient healing techniques. You know, I've learned that the use of binaural beats in terms of meditation is really helped. Like I understand my values and what makes me tick. Like there's so many things around emotion that can work for you in these moments, because over time your threshold for stress and pressure will actually grow. So for me, I feel like I can be under a mountain of pressure which might crush the average human being, but to me I can motor on through it, and I've built that tolerance and that resilience over a period of time. And resilience to me is a strength. Like I use my strength of resilience to get through the tough times. It's why I know I can be the last man standing, right? So I've said this in previous videos. Sometimes, as a matter of fact, it's almost all the time, it's not timing in the industry, it's time in the industry. It takes time, which I've already explained in patience in this video. All right, there I am. I've finished all of that. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please share the likes and the loves across the screen. If you know of anyone that would enjoy this or really needs to resonate with them, then share this with them. Other than that, thank you for those of you who have been joining in and tuning in. I really enjoy the fact that you take the time out for me today. Other than that, I will see you on the next video.